Alrighty, on this fabulous and fun-filled episode of JPublic Plays Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, we're going to go visit the path to the No Man's Wharf, which is a fun-filled and fabulous place. No, it isn't. I will probably die a lot here. Not in the path, but in the actual wharf. There will be a lot of death there. The reason for that is, well, even in the base game I died a lot there. In the new version I don't last much longer. Another old knight here. I think this is where I use another fragrant branch of yore. They really increased the need for fragrant branches of yore. Like, there's a lot of them in the game. I think there might be to the number as many fragrant branches of yore as there are places to use them. As opposed to Pharaoh's Lockstones, which you seem to be tripping over. There's so damn many of these things. Over here we find another one of these knights. Which I'm going to backstab. And I'm pretty sure there's a Sublime Bone Dust or an Estus Flask shard here. Sublime Bone Dust. You take that to the bonfire in Majula, burn it there, and your Estus Flask becomes an Estus Flask +1, and it works a little better. You can get it all the way up to +5. And up to a maximum of 12 Estus Flasks. Which really sucks, because by the time you can actually find 13 in the game. Like, there's 13 total to find. And so by your second playthroughs, you're like, what do I do with these things? It'd be nice if there's something you could do with them. Other than just sell them to a dude. Who will meet here? Well, not in here in the Wharf. First time we meet him. He's my favorite guy because he sells one of my favorite items ever. Basilisk. Whoa. I wonder... I'm going to equip something. And it's binoculars. Okay. See this basilisk? Looks like he's got these huge eyes. Doesn't really. Let me zoom in on something. Oh, let me actually equip the... Let me zoom in on something here. See, right above his mouth, you can actually see those are his eyes right near the corners of each of his... right near the corners of his beak, kind of thing. Those eyes are decoys. At least that's what I figure. A lot of people have... Because later on you find ones that don't have those big, huge eyeballs. To spend it or not to spend it? I'll spend it. So use this here. This hollow... unpetrifies. It takes a while for you to actually be able to target it. There we go. And then I kill it with one hit. And run up here. This is a Mastodon Knight. It's not really that hard. If you can handle the Old Knights. It's pretty much the same thing. I don't find them very tough at all. Mastodon armor. Big and heavy. Estus Flash Shard. The entrance to this is actually down there. You can... There's a hole in the wall there. You don't need to come up here to continue the game. There's just stuff here. And I like stuff. There's actually new armor here, if I'm correct. The Night Gear. Bit heavy. It's okay. We'll look at it in our inventory. So you can see it's twice as heavy as more than twice as heavy as what I'm wearing. Pretty good defense. It's got some poise on it. This is the Ironclad armor. Great defense, but look at that weight! Oh cow! And there's Mastodon armor. It's actually better in some respects, in a lot of respects, than the Ironclad armor, and it's half the weight. Said before, my favorite armor set is Lucatiel's. It's great, in my opinion. It's really light, really protective. Best armor in the game, if you're a caster. I might not wear it, mostly because I always wear it and I'm getting tired of seeing that on endgame characters. We are now in No Man's Wharf. We'll light this bonfire. Lucatiel used to hang around here. She doesn't anymore. She actually hangs around further in now. I need to get a torch lit. This is one of those areas you want to torch unless you're cheating and having your brightness up to full. Because I do have my brightness up to full, it's not overly necessary, but still nice. The problem with using your torch is that while it also allows you to see a greater distance, it allows everyone to see you a greater distance, which means you have to deal with greater aggro. If those two-sword guys get their combo off on you, you are dead. Every time it's happened to me. That was kind of hilarious. Can I get this item? No, it fell down. That's something that happens a lot in the game. An item will fall down and you won't be able to get it. It's really, really irritating. This right here is a shortcut they added into this version of the game. It is the best thing ever. I love it. I need to stop trying to pretend like my torch is a shield. I will get killed much less if I cut that out. Over here is the dude who's shooting his bow at me and he just drilled me from short range. Ranging armor! Varangians! Vikings! Their armor is not bad. It's actually a little bit better than the leather armor. Because I always wear leather armor, I'm going to wear this instead. That will be a theme for this LP. I'm going to wear gear and use equipment that I have never done before, so that it's a little less of me replaying the game the way I've always replayed the game and it gets really dull. It's going to be more me playing the game. I've never played it before. Makes things a little bit more exciting. There's a trick you can do with torches that doesn't really come up until later in the game. But because of it, you have to be careful. Dark pine resin will apply dark to your sword. But as I was saying, there's a trick you can apply to, you can use with torches that you have to be careful about when you're dealing with water in the base game. When you roll and you're wearing a torch, the torch will touch the ground. If what you're rolling on is water, I'll do it here actually, just to show you guys. Torch gets put out. If it's something flammable, like, say, oh, I don't know, oil, you'll light the oil on fire. This can be a source of much hilarity later on in the game. I am not a fan of the Dukes at all. They're apparently a fan of me. They would like to eat my face. It's important I check something. Do I have... Whoops. Oh, whoops. Ooh. This is what happens when you flail around with your sword too much. You break it. Its durability goes to naught and you can risk breaking it. This item right now has durability 1. I do anything with it, it will shatter. So we're switching to the S-Stock. You really have to avoid flailing with your weapon. Oh, I haven't shown you guys the S-Stock. S-Stock. Poke. 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 And then this is the... That's the strong attack, it's a swipe. I really like the S-Stock. I'm going to try it. I tried it on my other character and I was like, this is kind of neat. We're going to try this. Lucatiel, hi again.
I thought that might be you. You haven't changed a bit, have you?
We just saw each other like a second ago.
The longer I am here, the more madness I discover.
I know.
A wretched place indeed, but not without traces of its former glory. What could have caused such degradation? Ah, yes. I have not thanked you for humoring. This is for you.
Human effigy.
Of course, I have no idea what it is.
Sorry about moving my camera around while she was talking. I was trying to see if you could get a closer look on her face, but her mask is covering it up too well. Pardon the cough, I'm a little bit hoarse. Don't know why. Whoa. I am getting the crud kicked out of me here. There is not enough face palm. Not just no. I totally deserve that. Alright, let's try that one more time. Here's something neat. All those torches are lit? Still lit. Wake up, dude. There's a weapon I'm going to get later. I don't know if I'll use it. But if I do, it'll... Man, every time. And I forgot to put on my new shield. Goodbye, Watch Dragon Parma. Hello, Royal Kite Shield. Not as good in everything except for the one that counts. I love 100% physical resist. It is the best thing ever. This weapon takes such getting used to. Like, it's going to take me a while to get used to this weapon, so, like, part of it is I don't know how much damage it's doing, so I keep on doing extra attacks, which means... I'm eating up the vulnerability really quickly. The other thing is that, by default... What the heck? That is a really disconcerting noise. By default... Like, what I'm used to doing is sort of slashing attacks. The slashing attack has an area of swipe, which makes it sometimes a lot more useful for various for dealing with things that like to do swipes and run around you all over the place. And oh, hi. I did not know you were there. Hello? What does somebody have to say? I see somebody's jumped in there. I want to see what he says. Hurrah for Dark Spot. I hope you feel proud of yourself. Hey, Lucatiel. Why are you still here? Aren't you supposed to be gone now? I died.
Land of, there is only my family had little fortune, and with two things. I was raised to wield a sword from birth. Life was hard. I had swift success on the battlefield and quickly attained respectable stature. And then I came here to... Have you heard of the undead? These poor souls affected by the curse. An undead gradually loses his humanity until his wits degrade completely. Finally, he turns hollow and preys upon others. And a hollow can never be human again. One can skirt this wicked fate only with the help of the souls found here. Assuming, of course, that the legends are true, I can only hope that they are.
Oh, she did! Cool. Okay, let me see if I can get a good picture of this. Oh, wait. I know what I can do. Damn it, Lucatiel. Maybe if I talk to her.
I'm sorry. I suppose I've grown weird. I'm sorry to burden you with talk of my fate. I suppose I've grown weary these days.
Okay, from this, it's actually an important thing when she takes off her mask. You can see, I know it's blurry, sorry. You can see from this side, she's got a regular human face. Hopefully I can get it from this side. From this side, she is clearly hollowed. Lucatiel has the curse. She is starting to forget who and what she is. And as such, she is starting to hollow out. This is something that came from both... was a big deal in Dark Souls 1. Most of the characters in Dark Souls 1, when you completed their plotline all the way, you actually ended up hollowing them out. There were a lot of characters who, once you finished their story, most of them in fact, once you finished their story, they became a mindless hollow and attacked you and you had to kill them. There were very few for whom the final... What is that sound coming from? That is really annoying. There's very few characters for whom their final result was not them being hollowed out and dead. Yeah, I see what the guy means. This kind of looks like this is a secret door. In Dark Souls 2, the only one, it seems, for whom that is their final fate is Lucatiel. All the other characters, you end up finishing off their plot, which means you get their equipment. Just sorta. Naturally. That was stupid of me. So what happened there? That guy is throwing, I guess they're oil flasks at you. Oil flask meets... Ooh, yeah, I need to go down there and do something. I'm going to show you the trick you can do with your... I don't know if I have the range for this, though. There's a trick you can do... Oh, I do have the range. Awesome. There's a trick you can do with binoculars and any sort of casting weapon. You can, if you zoom in with the binoculars, you can aim and shoot things at a much longer range than you could actually target them with your weaponry, with your regular lock-on. It's really fun and really cheap. I didn't used to use it at all, and then I discovered how easy it is, and so now I use it all the time. And just so you know, no, I don't feel any shame. The reason for that is I hate this area. I hate this area a lot. Even though it has my absolute favorite summon in it. There's a new summon in this game. His name is Bradley of the Old Guard. I'm going to spend an effigy and go human just to introduce you guys to him. Why? Because he is that good. Bradley of the Old Guard is easily the best NPC in the entire game. So here's the big trick to this zone. In the original game, this was a do this if you have a stone to spare, because otherwise you're possibly wasting a Pharaoh's Lockstone. Because you can't move 5 feet without tripping over one now, go ahead and use it. Excuse me while I do this to get rid of this asshole from within range of. Ooh. The other thing is, because of the way this area is laid out, it's actually really useful to do this because these guys are so annoying. Oh, he's just out of my range. What this little trick does there are critters in here that don't like light. That is the attack from hell. That combo does stupid amounts of damage. Rangian leggings, we'll look at those in a second. The bandit gear is what you find here. Oh, the brigand gear, sorry. And I'm going to take off this weapon. Switch back to my fire longsword, which, since I died, is now fully repaired. This will be the first time I've seen what's in this chest. Last time I came to this chest, I actually destroyed it by accident. Nothing good. This is one of the shortcuts in this area. There's a dude there. He's important. If you listen carefully, you can hear him having a drink. That guy is so awesome. So awesome. The reason you light the torches here, there are enemies, you can see them in the distance over there, that do not like light. You turn this on and they spend all their time cowering. This makes them very easy to deal with for ranged characters. He says as he proceeds to cheap them all to heck. And as I said before, no, I'm not ashamed. Broadsword, heavy boots. Open this up. There's guys in there, and they bust down the wall. These guys do stupid amounts of bleed. Oh no, I'm out of sword arrows. I like how your guy looks at it and goes, huh? When not being swarmed, I don't find those guys particularly difficult. Like, they're tricky, but I can handle them one-on-one. I just don't want to die. I'm tired of dying in this game. Embarrassing myself in front of my peers. Over here, mid-force. when I talked about the way emit force is cast, it also brings up to mind the big problem with emit force. I'll show you while I cast Great Soul Arrow. I'll waste the cast here. Actually, you guys can look when I do the next one. You'll notice my character takes a small step forward every time he casts anything. I'll burn one here so I can show you more clearly. See, I take a small step forward, and if you watch my heals, I'll do it again. See how they're how I'll get on a line so I can show you. See how my back heel on my right foot is right on the line of the wood? Watch what happens as I cast. I step forward almost a full plank. With emit force, that step is huge. Your character throws his arms out to the side, takes a big step forward, and claps his hand together to throw the emit force. The emit force is a huge step forward, and it can really get you in a lot of trouble. The next tier up for faith casters is the lightning spear, which doesn't have as big a step as that. What's weird about it though is you take the spear, you take your hand, you raise it over your head to build the lightning spear, and you throw it almost from your left side with your right arm. It's kind of odd looking. I always find it really odd looking. It's the way it was done, but it just looks weird to me. Anyway, I'm gonna use one of my amber herbs. And see, I now have 9 soul arrows, great soul arrows, and 22 regular ones. That will be more than enough. This chest here is trapped. The general key that a lot of people go for is watch the color. If it's white, block. If it's green, roll back. I prefer either way to roll back. Greatsword. Greatsword is an ultra greatsword. I don't know if I can even have the strength to. Yeah, unable to use it properly with present attributes. This is a big sword. It's a copy of, I think it's Gut Sword from Berserk. It's big. If I two-hand it, I still don't have the strength. Oh, whoops, wrong two-hand. There. That's a 2-part attack. The first attack is a slam, second part is a lift. Well, if I have enough stamina to show you guys properly. Slam, lift. This is the two-handed heavy. And this is the one-handed heavy. The regular greatsword for a strength-based character is easily one of the best weapons in the game. It is surpassed by very few weapons. Probably the only one that people would agree to is a DLC Ultra Greatsword. There are a lot of guys I know who will simply wield the regular greatsword and then graduate to, or sorry, we'll wield the mace, then we'll graduate to the craftsman hammer, maybe, then we'll get the greatsword and just use that for the rest of the game, because it is that good. Let's look at the Varangian leggings. I don't think they're anywhere near as good as what I'm using. No, they're garbage. Garbage. This is the way to go. Yeah, I just wanted to check and make sure I wasn't missing anything. Missing things, not my favorite thing to do. I'm going to show you something really neat here. I'm going to equip a bow. There's my bow. I'm going to equip my cheapest iron arrows. Okay. Equip my bow. Aim with my bow. See that bell? Hitting the bell with anything makes it ring. The moment it rings, these guys come say hi. And I don't think I can use the lever now. Oh, no, I can. That's what you normally do. So what you can do is, if you have really good aim from a really huge distance and a bow with really good range, you can hit this from a heck of a ways away and just summon the ship, which is the key to the end of the level. And drop down here. I don't remember what's in here. Switch to my spells. There's an item. There's a guy who needs to die. Is there another one? Yes, there is. I believe this is the way out. There it is. I wonder. There's a way. Sorry, anything in which I can mess around with the enemies in the game is a incredible amount of fun to me. There's another guy around here that I really want to mess around with. There he is. Whoa. These guys you used to only see in New Game Plus, these guys with the big huge beak mask. You only used to see them in New Game Plus in the boss chamber as a, let's make this fight a little bit harder. Now, they're just around here all the time. Don't like them very much. Go in here. Kill this guy. That wakes up the other guy. Be very careful in this area. All of these pots are poison. Now I'm going to stand very still and I want you to listen very carefully. Out of your left speaker, you should hear something that sort of sounds like a jingling. That is your clue, very important clue, that there is a crystal gecko nearby. First we pick up this. Another fragrant branch of yore, and then we break this wall and kill the gecko. Unlike in Demon's Souls, in Dark Souls, if you miss your chance to get a gecko, you can just try again and reload. They will always come back. Royal Soldier's Ring increases your equip weight. It's nice. I'm actually gonna maybe equip it. There's a later item you get, which I will discuss further, that will replace that for me. It's great. It's one of my favorite items in the entire game. I think it it does a lot. Secret door here with some cool stuff in it. Chest. It has your fire bombs. Nobody really cares about fire bombs. And an item. Large titanite shard. Again, an item you will find tons of all over the place, and it's like, why are these rare? The Varangian helm is a really good helm. A lot of people will wear it as their helm throughout the game if they're not trying to abuse drop mechanics like I am. Part of the reason I'm wearing this hat all the time is because I want to try and show you guys as much items as possible. So, if there's an armor set that I pick up that you want me to look at, let me know. I'll try. Here's the Brigand armor. It's light. It's not bad, actually. I mean, it's lighter than the leather armor, but its scaling is probably, its scaling isn't as good. Not bad. Let's compare it to my gloves. These are the Night Gauntlets. They're not very much heavier than what I'm wearing. These are Brigands. They're okay. Let's compare what I'm wearing to the Knight. Yeah, it's like twice as heavy. So, and this, let's see if I can get it. This is the Varangian helm. It's a Viking hat. This.
Who are you? I, Gavlan.
This is Gavlan.
Gavlan will. Gavlan wants soul. Many, many soul. What you want? With Gavlan, you will. You deal.
Gavlan is a Gurm, which is this world's equivalent to a dwarf. He wants to trade. He wheels and deals. That's all you need to know about Gavlan. He's awesome. He also sells poison arrows. I love poison arrows. He also sells the Ring of Giants, which increases poise. I'm not going to equip it. I think you get a +1 a little later.
Many deal. Many thanks.
You meet Gavlan 3 times here, a little later in an area called the Earthen Peak, and then once again in an area called the Doors of Pharaohs. Once you've met the Doors of Pharaohs location is his final location. That's all you need to know about him. Gavlan wheels, Gavlan deals. He trades for stuff. He's also the only guy you can sell to. Now, selling is pretty worthless in this game. You're not going to get a ton of... Holy crow! Even my staff is breaking. Going to use some repair powder to fix my equipment. You'll see all my stuff is now at 100%. That was kind of a waste of repair powder. I could have just run back. Like, there's a shortcut right there. I could have gone to the bonfire and used it, but I don't want to. I want to do this entire area in one go. He says, and then and then probably gets killed. Remember, kids, hubris. Because, as I have said, almost 99% of my deaths in this game will be my dumb fault. So knock that down. Now I can get a direct path from here, from the bonfire, which is nice. This is my main spell vendor. Well, he's the beginner spell vendor. His name is Caroline.
I sense power. Very well. From this day, you shall be my new pupil. I am Carillion. Carillion of the Fold.
Okay, Carillion, sorry.
Surely you've heard the name. Now, do not be afraid. Let us explore the limits of sorcery.
You can buy from him a couple cool items. This shortens spell casting time. I don't know how really blatant it is. It seems to help. Spell quartz ring, mostly useless. Amber herb, slightly restore spell use. Twilight herb, that's the second tier one. The wilted dusk herb is the third tier. Restore spell uses. Simpleton spice, and there's another one called skeptic spice for miracles. These are really useful. They allow you to reduce the intelligence or faith cost of a spell. Now, you don't get to the guy who allows you to use them for a while, but it is so nice to not have to, for example, if a spell needs, 40 of a stat to be able to drop it to 35 or even 30, yeah, you're still casting it with lower stats, so you're not getting the full effect out of it, but at least you can use it earlier, so it's nice. What we're really here for, though, is this. He has all the starter spells. Soul Arrow, get another one. Great Soul Arrow, get another one. Heavy Soul Arrow. Yeah, as you can see, the tiers is Soul Arrow, Heavy Soul Arrow, Great Soul Arrow, and then Great Heavy Soul Arrow. Shockwave does a burst around you, pushes guys back. I never find it very useful, but I'm getting it anyway. Soul Spear Barrage. You plant your staff in the air kind of thing, and a bunch of little soul spears shoot out. It's really useless, but I'm getting it anyway. Magic Weapon does an enchant on your weapon, giving it extra magic damage temporarily. Never use it. Yearn. Supposed to act like an alluring skull and draw enemies. Doesn't really work that well. So I've now spent a ton of souls. I'm going to buy a couple of these because I'm going to use them. He also sells a catalyst in case you didn't already find one.
Take my teachings lightly.
Something I should do right now is talk him to death.
Magic and souls lie dormant in this land. It is a fitting place to hone my sorceries. I suspect that I may even conjure up new spells here.
You never do.
Sorcery is yet a mystery, even to me. Let us mature together, young pupil.
I wish he came up with new spells.
Use scrolls to unleash the power of sorceries. But the power of each scroll is reliant on that of its owner. The untrained cannot wield a scroll to its proper potential. Never forget, young pupil, there are no shortcuts to mastery.
If your intelligence is not good enough to talk to him, it has to be 8, I believe.
The forces of magic and
that's nothing new. Once I kill this boss, he'll run to Majula, which is nice, although he's not that useful. He allows you to reinforce the Pyromancy Flame. We don't have the Pyromancy Flame yet. Kinda not that useful. Oh, there's an item over there that I should go get. I don't know how useful it is, but I want it anyway. I want it, I want it, I want it, it's mine. So now I have shortcuts. I can actually use it. How am I going to get up there? Oh, this way. While I'm here, if I'm going to take on the boss, I want something special. Also, while I'm here, use this. Get a few more spells. I'll show you some of these spells that I got when we return to the bonfire at Majula. I'll level up and pick up a few of them. That was dumb of me. We can go this way. Ooh, who's this? Oh, that's just a dude. No offense to you, dude. That is the weirdest noise. I wonder where it's coming from. I wonder if there's a guy from who's supposed to come down from the top of that building back there, and he keeps on failing. That's weird. Okay, go over here. Night in a smooth and silky stone. Meh, I'll take it. So, here, summon side. Bradley of the Old Guard. He is so awesome. You summon him. First off, that shield he's using is actually a catalyst. At least I think it is. He bows. Walks up, and he'll cast a healing on me. He does lightning casts too when you're in combat. He is so awesome. But he's only a shade, which is the problem. Bradley, come here. Bradley. 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 Here's Lucatiel. We'll pick her up too. She's going to be a phantom. Doesn't really mean a lot. If I was running through the zone, a phantom lasts all the way to the boss. A shade only lasts for a limited amount of time. I believe I've mentioned this before. The first time going through this area, Bradley can be an indispensable assistant for going through your first time. He tanks. That was emit force that he just did. Get out of the way. Another one of these mummified dudes. Bradley is every kind of awesome. I know there's these halberds and crap just laying here and you can't pick them up at all. Alright, hopefully they will follow me in. This is the big problem. The Flexile Sentry is not a really hard boss. If you attack him from the side, he's remarkably easy. Big thing though is you have to, like, a little bit of care is really all that's needed. I'm gonna He just lightninged up his spear. How can you not like that guy? The Flexile Sentry, if you look on one set of his arms are using barbed clubs, which are one of the weapons you can get. The other hands are using twin arc swords. And he bows when he's done! Oh, so good. So good. I so much like Bradley. I'm sorry I'm like waxing ineloquent over Bradley, but he's just great. It's like they hired someone from Software. They finally decided to hire someone who knows how to do AI, and that guy earned his paycheck so well. The Flexile Sentry, there's a few boss souls that can be used to get a lot of different weapons when you trade them in. The Dragon Rider's one. It actually comes out with 4 different items. Their halberd, a bow, a shield, and I'm forgetting the last one. Twin blade. The Pursuer can get 2. You can get his shield or you can get his greatsword. The Flexile Sentry gets 3. There's a club, there's a warped sword, and there's a... which is, the club is just a regular club. It's barbed. It does bleed. There's a curved sword called the Arc Sword. It's actually a curved greatsword. It's not bad, but there's a regular non-boss item level item that's more or less the same called the Murakumo. That's just as good. In fact, I think it's better. And then there's a third item called the Warped Sword, which is a curved sword that has a really warped blade. A lot of people like it a lot because if you're 2 dual wielding weapons and you put that one in your offhand and then do the special stance, which is something I might be able to show maybe with daggers. I'll try and show it when I get back to Majula. It allows you to do a really cool multi-hit attack, so a lot of people like that. But the only way to get all 3 of those weapons on the same character is to actually beat the Flexile Sentry 3 times, and it has to be that one instance that I just fought. He's the only one who drops a soul. We finally get our Pyromancy Flame and our first Pyromancy spell. And then you look at this, which I believe is some sort of... I don't know. Timekeeping device? We'll just sit here and watch this video. Sorry, gonna yawn. So, to finish off this video, what I'll do is I will take you through the start of the regular, I guess, entrance into the Lost Bastille, which is where we're going. And then I'll go back to Majula, and I'll show you some dual weapons. And I'll also try and show you some spells. So that's what I'll do. So there's a couple of Rangians here. These are new. They didn't used to be here. These should be nothing here. So, as this elevator goes up... Hey, there was an item there. How do I get that item? This is something that you pick up. You have to really understand what's happening here. Watch what happens. I press this, and I can walk out before the door closes. Doesn't seem like a big deal until you realize I'm riding on top of the elevator now. And get a scimitar. Scimitar, standard curved item. Curved weapon. Sword. That's what I meant. Thing with the sharp and the pokey bits. Welcome to the Lost Bastille. As you enter, over here, don't give up, skeleton. Don't give up, skeleton is sort of an inside joke I found among all Dark Souls 2 players. They love to put it on interesting little skeleton locations. There's one location where if I don't find don't give up, skeleton, I'm going to put it. Because that location has to have don't give up, skeleton there all the time. But yeah, it's kind of funny every time sometimes you see a skeleton, see a message there, and it's don't give up, skeleton. I'm gonna just see what's up here. When in the original game there was a hide knight right over here. Okay, that was just dumb. I need to take that bow off before I start doing stupid crap. That guy up there is new. I have nothing but hate for him. I'm going to leave now. I'm going to take my toys and go that crap home. As the saying goes, screw you guys. So, bonfire. Let's go back to Majula. Send some souls. Pardon me. Where'd she go? There she is.
Is that a shard you found? Here, to see luck. However,
I now have 5 Estus flasks. Do I actually have 2? No, I don't. Okay. Level up. Level up. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Do a couple of those. A couple of those. I'll probably get my attunement up to 25 or 30. 30 is basically the first soft cap. What happens is you get one spell at 10, a second one at 13, a third one at 16, a fourth one at 20, a fifth one at 25, and a sixth one at 30, and then the next one is at 40. And then I believe it's 50, it might be 60, and then it's 75, it's weird. So, attune spells. We're going to take off all of these. First one to see. I'm going to show you the difference between Soul Arrow, Great Soul Arrow, and Heavy Soul Arrow. So, these 3 spells. First we have Soul Arrow. Soul Arrow. Bing. Standard spell. Bing. Heavy Soul Arrow, which is the next tier up. You see that it takes a lot longer? And then we go to Great Soul Arrow. It's about the same. But for reference, let's look at Great Soul Arrow again. It doesn't seem a huge deal, but it is a little bit faster, and that's an important thing for dealing with these spells. Now, we're going to take off those. I'm going to take up Great Heavy Soul Arrow. I'm going to take up and as the last one, I'll take up Shockwave. I'll show you Shockwave. Okay, so Soul Arrow, and then Great Heavy Soul Arrow. See, that's a noticeable longer time. This is Shockwave. it actually fires something. It does very little damage, but when it hits, it knocks you back. You'll see a character later on in the game who uses, or an enemy later on in the game who uses that, much to my great annoyance. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. I'm gonna put on that, that, and that. Those are the last of the sorcery spells I can equip. This is Soul Spear Barrage. We'll view it from the side. It's a little rapid fire thing. It does piddly damage. Next, magic weapon. Do I have something I can use this on? Oh. Problem with magic weapon is you have to have your staff in your offhand. I think it only works if your staff is on your left and your weapon's on your right, and I'll show it now. Now my weapon has a blue glow and it'll do extra magic damage. So, and then this is urine. Urine is dumb. Watch this. And it just creates this thing. This little ball that makes enemies want to go mess with it. Doesn't last very long. Let's not put my shield in the wrong hand. What was I gonna put here? This. This. Okay. So, oh yeah, dual wielding. Let's get a couple light weapons that I can dual wield. I really think the only ones I can do it with are daggers, so we're gonna try that. We'll see. Well, first we'll try it with dual longswords, see if I can actually do it with that. So, I now have swords in both hands. Yar. If you tap your two-handing, you two-hand your right one. If you hold it down and you can't dual wield, he'll equip the other weapon in a two-hand stance, which is weird because all your controls are backwards and it's just bizarre. Yeah, I can't dual wield these. So, we'll put a dagger and a dagger. There are combinations of stuff you can do. There's certain special combinations that are neat. So we have a dagger, which we have dual wielded. You see how my character sort of readjusted his grips? Watch what happens as I attack now. Whenever I hit my left-hand weapons, I do these dual attacks. When you have curved weapons equipped, those dual attacks are actually really neat. You do sort of this swooping, swirling attack that's kind of neat, and I think it's awesome looking. So that's that. I'll attune the proper weapons or proper spells. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw on 2 of these and a great soul arrow, or a heavy soul arrow. That's less spells, but I don't really need so many. So, in our next episode, I'll go wandering around the Lost Bastille, and maybe we'll fight a boss or 2. So, until next time. Bye.